Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson. Welcome again to my channel. It is January 11th, 2024. Happy Saturday, happy Saturday. Let's say it together. Praise our God from whom all blessings flow. Let's do something different tonight. Let's listen to the fire chief, the mayor, and a lady who has been an angel in LA in relation to catastrophes and how this tragedy has affected her. We've heard this rumor about the mayor possibly firing the female fire chief because of her vocal responses. You see, the media has been out there asking a lot of questions, as well they should. And she's not holding back. Her name is Crowley. You know, when you hear that name, you think about Aleister Crowley, right? What a name, Crowley. But yeah, people, let's do something different tonight, and let's see where it takes us, okay? First, let's listen to an angel who also became a victim of this tragedy.
Making that resulted in this catastrophe. It was a natural disaster.
A disaster that still has residents reeling. God. Nina Kaniram works for the humanitarian aid organization CORE, which has been distributing hygiene kits, masks, and other supplies to those impacted by the fires. Over the years, Kaniram has become an expert, not only on what it takes to recover from wildfires, but on the effects on communities from climate change, which scientists say contributes to more extreme fires.
All we lost was our stuff.
This week, her work became more personal than ever when the Palisades fire arrived at her doorstep.
Just like everyone else, I was in shock and disbelief. I tried to separate myself and just remember what other people who have survived fires told me, kind of take one moment at a time.
She and her husband had lived there with their two kids, 17 and 20, for the last 8 years.
You can have all the information, all the, go bags, all the training, the plans, the alerts, but you also need to have a support system for afterwards. I consider myself a really strong woman, a really strong mom. And
after 36 hours, she broke down. You see, she decided that she could cry in front of her kids. Hundreds of people, maybe even thousands, there and throughout the world have cried. Because this is hell, people. It is a living hell. Welcome again. My name is Franchise Pearson. Welcome to Franchise Blue. Thank you for being here. Yes, I'm still at it. It's necessary to inform at different angles. But let's talk about this mayor and the fire chief and all the things that have been said thus far.
Response, because in the early hours of the wildfires, especially in the Pacific Palisades, we had a team on the ground, a crew there with a reporter, and witnessed a number of homes burned to the ground, and there was not a fire truck in sight. How did that happen? We pre-deployed the most amount of emergency resources that we could with what we had. With the pre-deployment, when the fire takes off, we're going to push as many resources that we can at that particular incident. And that's what we did. We did exactly what we could with what we had.
So you're saying you didn't have enough resources?
I would say in a wind event like this that we are living today in day 3, something that is as significant as this particular fire, I would say we threw exactly what we could with what we had. So if I had 1,000 engines to throw at this fire, I honestly don't think 1,000 engines at that very moment could have tapped this fire down.
Chief Crowley limited your response because in the early hours of the wildfire, Santana's reservoir limited your response.
The budget. There's so much talk about it. It was cut 17 million. It was cut this. It wasn't cut at all, according to one newspaper. Was your budget for the fiscal year 2024-2025 cut?
I can tell you, I'm going to even go back further than that. Again, since day one, we've identified huge gaps in regard to our service delivery and our ability from our firefighters, boots on the ground, to do their jobs. Since day one, this is my third budget as we're going into 25-26. What I can tell you is we are still understaffed, we're still under-resourced, and we're still underfunded. So with that, whether it's 7 million, 10 million,
But was the budget cut?
yes, it was cut, and it did impact our ability to provide service.
Let's talk about that memo. You sent a memo. The budget. There's so much talk about it. It was cut.
Now, some people might think that this is out of protocol, that she should have had a meeting with the mayor, the council. What do you think? In the heat of this battle, do you think that she should have expressed herself or she should have waited? What do you think?
17 million.
Got a lot of videos here, people. I'm going to go in
Limited
sequence.
your response.
The budget.
Clear that I have, over the last 3 years, been clear that the fire department needs help. We can no longer sustain where we are. We do not have enough firefighters. With that, I have also requested multiple budgets, interim budgets, to show how understaffed, under-resourced, and underfunded the LEFD is. So with that, also, we have clear data that shows the LEFD needs more help. We need 62 more fire stations. These reports also show that we've had a 55% increase in overall call volume since 2010. And guess what? We're doing it with less firefighters.
This is very important. Let's listen to this again. I think out of all the videos that I present here, she had been knocking on the door psychologically, trying to get things done for 3 years, the budgets, and doing the best that you can with what you got. We all hear that, don't we? This is an economy. This is a decision. And this is the crashing of our United States. Listen.
Clear that I have, over the last 3 years, been clear that the fire department needs help. We can no longer sustain where we are. We do not have enough firefighters. With that, I have also requested multiple budgets, interim budgets, to show how understaffed, under-resourced, and underfunded the LEFD is. So with that, also, we have clear data that shows the LEFD needs more help. We need 62 more fire stations. These reports also show that we've had a 55% increase in overall call volume since 2010. And guess what? We're doing it with less firefighters.
Needs 62 more fire departments. And what did she say? 50% more call-ins? You're getting 50% more calls in to fight fires? And then you cut $17 million? That's why I snapped the other day about people like Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. $17 million? That ain't nothing for him. If you wanted to get in politics, Elon, then go grassroots. Somebody hear me on this thing. All you millionaires and billionaires, until we get this thing right, listen to this here. All she needed was $17 million. She's getting 50% more calls. All the data is showing that the need is there. And you're cutting? Come on, man. This is sick, y'all. I had to do this video.
Santanez Reservoir was closed to repairs and it was empty. 117 million gallons of water could have been used in this fight. The question is about the Santa Ynez Reservoir being empty. There's been a lot of questions about that.
Sure. So my stance on this is when a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect there's going to be water. We don't control the water supply. Our firefighters are there to protect lives and property and to make sure that we're properly trained and equipped. That's my position on this. So if there's no water, I don't know how the water gets to the hydrants. Please defer that to DWP or whomever controls that part. But I can tell you the resiliency of our firefighters, if there's no water, they're going to go find water. Please don't.
Santanez Reservoir.
And like I said in the video a few days ago and a few videos I had to take down, I thought that there was a minimum of monies that had to always be in these budgets for areas like LA. Number two, I have dealt with health inspectors and fire inspectors the majority of my adult life. People, there is a list of hydrants. You're going to tell me again, that hydrants did not have water? And the fire department has to pull up with this urgency and they go there and the damn thing is empty. You're going to tell me that the chief, the fire chief, is not working directly with whomever on a daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly basis in relation to these hydrants? Come on, man. If this ain't Laura and Hardy and Three Stooges, I don't know what is. I smell a rat. Hope I don't get in trouble. I smell a rat. How can the fire chief not be informed of areas where hydrants are empty? It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. It's another aspect I gotta look at.
Did the city of Los Angeles fail you and your department and our city?
It's my job to stand up as a chief and exactly say, justifiably, what the fire department needs to operate to meet the demands of the community.
Did they fail you?
That is our job, and I tell you, that's why I'm here. So let's get us what we need so our firefighters can do their jobs.
Did they fail you?
Yes.
Did the city of Los Angeles fail you?
Now I'm gonna tell you guys, I don't want to do the 5 C's, then again I'm gonna have to show it. They keep showing a 25 next to her, and the corner there's an 11. 25 and 11 comes up to 36. Use your imagination. Might be 25 years on the job, 11 years as chief of police, I don't know. But the numbers come out to 36, that's all I know.
Very, very clear. Yes, we took a $17 million budget cut. And as we know, any budget cut would negatively impact our ability to carry out our mission. I want to also clarify that I'm not a politician. I'm a public servant. It's my job as the fire chief of the Los Angeles City Fire Department to make sure that our firefighters have exactly what they need to do their jobs. And that's why I'm talking to you today. The Palisades fire, everybody's seen it. It is absolutely one of the most horrific natural disasters.
Now let's go here. And my condolences to all family and friends. And this angel, she will recover.
Protect them. It is my job as a chief to make sure that my firefighters are funded appropriately, are equipped appropriately and they're trained appropriately. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm in this seat. I will not stop until I get that for them.
You've spoken with the Fire Commission. You have made it very clear that this department is underfunded, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
This department was asked to take a $17 million budget cut.
That is correct.
How does that affect your department?
It impacts our ability to provide service, absolutely.
How did that affect the firefight in the Palisades and beyond?
So, first and foremost, what I just said before is making sure our firefighters have the ability to provide service. So $17 million cut did not allow us to do what we needed to do. And where that impacted us specifically for Palisades was our ability to move into reserve apparatus. The $17 million cut into our ability to utilize resources that should be at our disposal that we were unable to fix.
I pointed on purpose because I wanted you guys to look at something. I do not know what this is, but it is in the form of like a little bit like of an X. Anybody knows what this like thermos is, what that symbol is, let me know. Starting to go there gradually, but hey, like I said, we'll digress. Now here's the mayor responding about an hour ago in relation to her fire chief and what's currently going on.
Today, Mayor Karen Bass and Fire Chief Kristen Crowley presented a unified front at a press briefing. Following reports, the mayor had dismissed the chief over her complaints of insufficient resources.
How can Angelenos be sure that you two are on the same page when everyone is facing this historic and unprecedented crisis?
We have one mission, and that is going to be our sole focus. Now, prior to this, the chief and I have always been in regular communication, and we will continue to do that.
But during an earlier interview, the fire chief appeared frustrated in her department's ability to fight fires after a more than $17 million budget cut last year.
We are screaming to be properly funded to make sure that our firefighters can do their jobs so that we can serve the community that we took an oath.
Governor Gavin Newsom is also facing questions over the response. On Friday, he ordered an investigation into why a 117 million gallon reservoir in the Pacific Palisades was out of service and the loss of water pressure to some fire hydrants, calling it deeply troubling.
Why was there...
People, I'm telling you, don't let them fool you. I have dealt with city. I'm not the best to do this video, but I have dealt with city. This should have been on the list. You're coming after the fact? This is part of the inspection list. A reservoir empty? They gotta know why. People, do not fall for this garbage response. Whether it falls under his auspices or the mayor, they already knew. Oh, let me go see. That's just like the lady, 4 or 5 days ago when I did that video in New Orleans, the police chief. Oh, I didn't know we didn't have these blockers. But now we have them. We're going to put them there so cars and trucks can't get through to kill anybody. Come on, man. Let's play this garbage again. Listen to this garbage again.
Also facing questions over the response. On Friday, he ordered an investigation into why a 117 million gallon reservoir in the Pacific Palisades was out of service and the loss of water pressure to some fire hydrants, calling it deeply troubling.
People, I've never delay, deny, debate, derail, then destroy. Something is going on. My heart is with you guys in LA, but I'm telling you, we are fighting for you guys. And it's hard to think while you're in the middle of misery those of us who are on the outside looking in, those of us who have city backgrounds, look, we're asking the questions because something is not right. Something is not being said. Prevention, prevention, prevention. And I am not going to sit up here and watch these responses and be satisfied with these type of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck things in place where now you can say you're going to investigate. This is a level of incompetency that no municipality should have to experience, people. My name is Friendship Pearson. Put in the comment section how do you feel. If you are a public servant, if you, police, fire, whatever, work for a mayor, governor, put it in the chat. Or just, if you don't want to put, I don't want to put you on notice. But if you know what I'm trying to say is that there's a checklist of things and all these things should have been checked off. Just put it out there and says, yes, Pearson, I understand what you're saying. And with that, I think all these cities need an audit as to what's going on. Because any of us could be next. God bless you and God keep you.